Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Tactical Harmony. And today's guest is someone that I actually met at a Tony Robbins event back in, I think it was 2024.
Yes.
And right, like I think it was 2024, and we both invested in ourselves and our businesses and went to his business mastery event. And I think we were in the same group and we
Sure.
became connected and we stayed in contact via social media. Such a beautiful thing. And I knew that I had to have her on the podcast. So let me read her bio and introduce her, and you will see why. Okay, so I am welcoming Jennifer Cortiella, who is an award winning Miami, Florida based wedding photographer with over 13 years of experience capturing meaningful, heartfelt moments. She is also a book author, best known for Zoey's Lessons, a heartfelt story inspired by her late dog Zoey and rooted in love, resilience, and connection. In addition to her creative work, Jennifer is the founder and president of the Magic Hour Foundation, a nonprofit that offers free professional photo sessions to cancer survivors, individuals currently fighting cancer, and pets with cancer.
Mm.
Through photography and storytelling, Jennifer is dedicated to preserving moments that matter most during life's most vulnerable lessons. Whew, oh my goodness.
Aw.
Jennifer, welcome to the Tactical Harmony Show.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much for having me here. It really means a lot to hear. And just and it's you reading that out loud. I don't know, it really touched my soul because it's like I'm always on the go, go, go. And I'm the person that who doesn't celebrate the victories. So hearing that out loud, it got me emotional. I'm like, wow, pretty cool, Jen. I think my 10-year-old self will be really proud of myself right now. Sorry.
Do not apologize. That tears of joy are welcome on the Tactical Harmony Show. That is the humanity, and quite frankly, we need a lot more of it these days. So I'm
Yes.
excited and honored to celebrate your many victories. And Jennifer,
Mhm.
let's start by having you walk us through, how did you get into wedding photography?
Well, wedding photography chose me as much as I chose it. I realized early on that I wasn't just photographing events. I was photographing people at one of the most vulnerable and meaningful days of their lives. That responsibility, that responsibility mattered to me. I lean into documentary naturally approach because I wanted couples to feel seen and not posed. Over time, that intention became my signature, Rebecca.
Oh, that's beautiful. So when you say that it found you, was it an event? Like, have you always been a photographer? Like, if you were a 5-year-old, 10-year-old, am I gonna find you with a camera in your hand? Or was it something that you developed in your adulthood?
It was something I developed back in high school and then in college, but it was just like a hobby. So I started off with pet photography and family, and then, street photography. And it was, like I said, it was just a hobby. I started off with film. My mom gave me a Polaroid when I was in high school. I think she handed me down her Polaroid. And it all started with that love of photography. And I was able to disconnect and just be in my own little bubble and taking pictures and looking at it later. I'm like, oh, that's really cool how that came out. And the creative side started to come out. And, life happens. Yeah, I had to get a career, went into paralegal. No, let's rewind back. I was thinking about becoming a firefighter.
Oh.
And yeah, and I went through the process, but I couldn't pass the CPAT. Yeah. And then I went into paralegal, but photography was always in the background. I'm always taking free photos for pets and stuff like that. And then I met my husband. He said, "Hey," I showed him my work, and he said, "Jen, you have an eye for photography." And I'm like, "Well, he's just saying that because he likes me. He's dating me." But he actually put me into a photography course, and I did a photography course and I loved it. And the professor told me, "You do have an eye for this. You just have to refine it." And the rest was history, Rebecca. I remember being a paralegal for about 6 years, thinking about going into law school. And then I was doing photography on the side. I had like maybe 2 weddings under my belt, friends' weddings. Um, and then something called to me and said, "Hey, this is it." And so I quit my paralegal work, which obviously, is not an easy task because, it's consistency income and, you have health benefits and all that stuff. And I don't know, I just took the leap of faith, Rebecca, and I haven't looked back. And that was back in 2014.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
And you do certainly have an eye for it. And I have not been the I don't know, the recipient of your photography, but or the object of your photography. Gosh, I would love that. But the photos that you post on Instagram and the ones that you have displayed on your website are just elegant and chic and
mm,
beautiful, and
thank
I want
you.
to hire you, and I have already had my wedding. I'm like, "How can I get Jennifer in my photography
Aw,
world?"
thank you, thank you. And to be honest with you, I mean, half of it is me, but it's the couples too, because I get to know them. My whole intentionality behind my photographs is getting to know the couple and their love language, getting to know them, like their do's and don'ts, what do they like, what do they don't like. And I don't wanna be that photographer that shows up and like, "Oh, the photographer's here." No, I wanna be, like, "Hey, Jen's here. Hey, how's your pups? How's everything?" Vice versa. So it feels like a friend is taking that photo, and that's how you get that energy translated through the photo, if that makes sense. So they're more natural, they let their guards down, and we're all having fun. So 50 is me and 50 is my couples because they trust me. They trust the process. And when they let the guards down, it's just a beautiful canvas that you're working with and taking those beautiful photos.
And I love how you characterized it as the energy through the photo. And as we know from Tony Robbins and beyond, energy is everything, right? Like having that energetic state and, emotion is energy in motion. And you were able to capture that essence and those moments so beautifully. And
Thank you.
I would love to know, Jennifer, when you entered the career field and as you opened your business and took on all the amazing clients, were there any surprises for you or anything that you wish you would have known before becoming a wedding photographer?
That's a good question, Rebecca. Well, I wish I had understood earlier how much labor comes with this work because you're holding space for stress, joy, family dynamics, and expectations all at once. That awareness, it really helped me protect my energies. If I would have that awareness early on, it would have helped me protect my energy sooner.
That's actually a good point because it's beyond the bride and the groom. I'm sure that you have a lot of moms and dads and brothers and sisters and friends. What about me? Photograph this. What about this? And have to
Yeah,
like maintain that balance and that focus and all of the things like that is challenge. I wasn't even thinking about that as like a challenge for you as you're focused on the bride and the groom and capturing their moments. Well, what about everybody else and how they enter that equation?
exactly. And also sometimes the bride or groom don't have their mom and dad in their lives or because they passed away
Mhm.
and they miss their parents being there, So I've learned throughout the years is how to read the room, when to know how to step in, when to step back to give them space to allow them to process that. So I like to consider me and my team not to be intrusive and to read the room. When to come in, when to come out, when to give gentle guidance as well. Like, hey, are you ready? You need some moment. It's fine. Because at the end of the day, it's their day and I want them to enjoy their moments on their wedding day.
That's beautiful. Gentle guidance and letting them have those moments, whether they're parents or certain family members. are present or they are absent, and it does invoke all that emotion. And I think that's so beautiful that it's beyond the taking of the picture. You are
Yes.
taking a very holistic, human first approach to your work, to your interaction and relationship building with your clients, which
Mhm.
clearly sets you apart and why you're so darn popular.
Thank you, thank you. And I've learned that along the way, and I finally found my voice for the last 5 years. I align with what values to me and my clients, and I love where I'm at right now with the season with my business and my photography and my clients. It's more about humanity, connection, being genuine, and letting them be seen and heard. It's not about me; it's about them. I'm just here to capture these moments for you. So I've been sticking with those are my new business values now. So yeah, I really love what I do, and I'm becoming more intentional how I capture wedding days, how I speak to my clients, my couples. And I'm loving it, Rebecca. I really love where I'm at right now with my photography journey.
You love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? Is that how the saying goes?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, let's switch gears here. And I would love to talk about what drove you or motivated you to photograph cancer patients, cancer survivors, pets with cancers. How did that come along on your journey?
Oh, that actually came about when after walking through the loss personally, I understood how fragile life is. I realized how powerful a photograph can be when time feels uncertain. That awareness shifted my work from just documenting love to honoring resilience, presence, and humanity.
Wow. Oh gosh, it's I have chills right now because having gone through many losses personally, humans and pets, it means so much. And again, what's the quote? A photograph is worth what, 1,000 words, 10,000 words? Something like that. Where I gosh, I have so many photos of my dog Clover, may he rest in peace,
Uh,
and I am so grateful that I have not only my memories, which are imprinted and burned in my heart and my brain and my body, but the photos capturing everything, and I think that's so beautiful. And I gotta ask you this question, Jennifer. How how do you take care of yourself or lead yourself when you're photographing these very emotionally heavy events? Because I can imagine there are tears and
yeah.
there's a lot of, the spectrum of human emotion that surfaces. How do you lead yourself through that when you're capturing these incredibly vulnerable moments?
Wow. I would say I lead with compassion. I also lead with structure. Emotional work requires boundaries, support systems, and reflection. I try not to carry everything alone. Um, this work has really deepened my resilience and taught me how to be fully present without observing what isn't mine to carry, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Uh, it is an emotional roller coaster, I'm not gonna lie, but I try to give myself some grace or sit with it at times and process it. Not like me, okay, let's move on to the next. No, I sit there and, you know, think about it and just be grateful for what I have as well and showing love and grace to the persons that I'm photographing. But it is an emotional roller coaster, I'm not gonna lie. But I do have a support system that helps me. And like I said, I process it, I journal about it, and then that's it. And then just move on to the next project.
I think that's so important how you explain that you hold space for them and those moments, and then you hold space for yourself. And I think for a lot of hard chargers, high performers, many of whom are listening right now or watching us, you go, 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 and then you got the next thing on your to-do list, and then you've got something else, and then your brain's thinking about what you have to do tomorrow, next week, next month, and you're holding space for everybody else
Yes.
work, your business, your husband, your wife, your kids, your dogs. But what about you? What about the
Exactly.
self-care or the soul care, as I like to call it? What about holding space for you? And I've come to learn the hard way in my own journey that if I'm
Mhm.
not holding space for myself, whatever that looks like, going for a hike outside, spending time with my dogs, doing yoga, cooking a delicious meal, whatever. If I'm not doing that for myself, I am not doing a service to those around me.
Correct. Correct, correct.
I'm going to now, Jennifer, shift to talking about Zoe and
Okay.
Zoe's lessons and your book. And this is something that we actually have in common with losing our soul dog, our pet. For me, it was Clover. For Jennifer, it was Zoe. And then authoring a book about the dog and the lessons and the beauty and the pain and everything in between. And I thought that was so fabulous when you came out with Zoe's lessons,
Thank
and
you.
I'm such a fan. It's beautiful. Make sure you go out and buy her book, and we will make sure that we put the links down below in the show notes, and we will ask her to share where you can get it at the end of the episode. But I love that because I know how I'll use the word therapeutic it was for me
Mhm.
when I was writing Unleashed, and it was tears of joy, tears of
Mm.
grief, tears of everything, and I had no idea how that would manifest in me and in the process of writing my book. So I would love to hear from you, Jennifer, because I understand grief is hard and a lot of
Yeah.
people can spend a lot of time there or maybe it's unprocessed. How are you able to turn your pain into purpose, if you will, and put that pen to paper and write Zoe's lessons?
Oh, I love that question. So grief cracked me open. For a long time, I sat in it, but eventually I asked myself, how can I let love continue forward instead of ending with loss? Zoe's lesson became a way to translate grief into something gentle, meaningful, and helpful for others. Purpose didn't erase the pain, it gave it direction.
Mm.
So it was my outlet. Everything. Things that I couldn't express verbally, I was able to express it in the book. And it helped me with the grieving process. And it is true what they told me, grief does come in waves. And she passed away in 2024 and it still comes and goes, and I'm okay now, I'm getting better day by day. Back in 2024, 2025, I couldn't even mention her name without crying. She was my soul pet. Zoe, she was like 2 months old, and I was blessed to be able to celebrate her 10th birthday. And then the next day, she passed away in my arms
Mm.
at home with her family. With
Wow.
her favorite song playing in the background, which I sang to her. She probably was like, "Oh Lord, these are the last words I'm listening to Brown Eyed Girls." And I wouldn't have it any other way because that
Mm.
diva gave me 3 good years, which the vets told me she was only gonna make it to 6 months. So she fought, and we fought right along with her until she made it to her birthday. Because she was like, "I'm gonna make it to my birthday because you promised me a tomahawk steak," which we did give it to her, and, she ate it, and then the next day, she passed, and, I remember asking the oncologist, "How would I know? Because I don't want her to suffer." I didn't, and he was like, "Trust me, she will tell you," and I'm like, "What does that look like?" And, sure enough, she told me that day when she woke up on Monday, because her birthday was on Sunday, March 17th, March 18th, but this crazy how life is, but, she told me, I don't know how to explain, it was just this
Mhm.
look on her face, and everybody felt it, my mom felt it, my husband felt it, and we knew it was time, and, the oncologist was coming anyways on Monday because on Monday she has chemo and radiation, they come to the house, and the day before, I knew something was up, she couldn't get up, it was just a different vibe with her, and so I told the oncologist, I think he had an idea because he came prepared. He did some tests, like, taking her temperature, her vitals, and he's like, "Jennifer, Zoe is in excruciating pain right now. She has a fever." we can't do anything else.
No.
This is it. And I'm like, oh my God. She wouldn't want to eat, and what happened was she had lymphoma cancer and she had osteosarcoma, which is she first started off osteosarcoma cancer, which is bone cancer on her left shoulder. And she was diagnosed with that in 2021. Then in 2023, she got lymphoma cancer, which is blood. Two different cancers, has nothing to do with the first one. I'm like, are you kidding me? So this poor dog has two different types of cancer. Um, but lymphoma, we had to do chemo and radiation. And for the first one, we did, and we did that holistically because it's just to maintain the tumor, which I mean, she had a good support system. She had good vets, I mean, she was doing really good. So we did the radiation and we got that in remission, the lymphoma. But while we're doing that, osteosarcoma was taking over. And I don't know how to explain that, but it was just taking over. And that's what took her away. So the tumor started to grow. And somehow it spread to the other shoulder now. And that was it. The poor thing was like, "That's it, mom." Yeah, mom, that's it. And I understood it, and I saw it in her eyes, and I was like, "Okay." And I made the decision, and they put her to sleep, and you know, sorry, and she just and and she fell asleep in my arms, you know, gracefully because she was such a diva. Oh my gosh, she just crossed her little legs like,
Aw.
and and that was it. And that
Oh.
was it. Quiet at home
Mhm.
with her music and with family and love. And I couldn't ask for anything else and no regrets. I miss her every single day. And yeah. So that was my soul pet. Love her to pieces still. And yeah, that's the story of Zoe. And that's the reason why I did the book.
Of course, this is very emotional and tearing up, and I'm tearing up too, and, just thinking of dogs and how precious the time is, but you displayed my very favorite emotion, which is laughter through tears. That is
Yeah.
my very favorite emotion, and I just love that when you were talking about listen, she was a diva to the end. You're also emotional because she's your baby and you love her, and so thank you for sharing that vulnerability with us and anyone's listening because we have so many dog lovers in the world, and like you, it took me a long time to even say Clover's name, to be gosh, it was a journey. So I totally see you. I know so many people that are listening to us right now are feeling that. And I'm currently in the season where my dog Diego is 16, 17 years old, and every
Mhm.
single day is a journey. And so I am currently battling anticipatory grief and not letting myself go to that space, but really honoring all the lessons that dogs teach us, right? Like
Yeah.
go outside, take in the sun, feel the wind on your face, put your paws
Yes.
or your hands, your feet on the ground.
Yes, and I've been learning that too. It's yeah, and then just being kind. Dogs don't judge, even though you're mean to them, they're still happy to see you. And wouldn't it be that beautiful thing if we can do that as well? Well, try to do that. It's such a beautiful thing to learn from dogs. My dog showed me resilience,
Mhm.
strength, compassion, being in the moment, cause she has some bad days. I'm gonna tell you, Rebecca, bad days with chemo and radiation, but she will still muster up some courage and greet me at the door when I come home from work. Like, she will still get up and greet me so happy, like, not a w wow, not one day Zoe did not miss a beat of being happy, being there with me by my side, and showing love. I don't know how to explain that, like, and there were some days that she was like, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is it," and then she'll bounce back up, I'm like, "I'm here, don't worry, I'm back." I'm like, "Oh my god." Such a strong pup. She really was such a strong pup, so I've been blessed to have her in my life. I have dogs now, they're 2 rescues, Ginger and Bane. Love them to death, and they have their own little personality, but Zoe will always, always have my heart, if that makes sense. She's my babes.
Yeah. No, it's no, I totally understand. I have 2 dogs now. Diego, of course, I've got Diego for Clover. And then,
Mhm.
of course, I have Miss Ivy, my Belgian Malinois, whom does judge me. They have those judgy, the shepherd, like, they're way, we joke, more human than human. Cue the Rob Zombie song. If you know, you know. But anyways, yeah, dogs truly are one of the best teachers. We just have to tune in and pay attention. So I agree with you completely. And switching gears in interest of time, before we end here, I had a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
You clearly wear a lot of hats. You have the Magic Hour Foundation, you have your wedding photography business, you're doing a lot of stuff in the world. And so I'd love to know, what is your superpower? Like, what do you do to give back to Jennifer and to keep operating at peak performance?
A lot of coffee. I'm just playing. No.
I'll drink to that. Although this is water, it's fine.
No, but a lot of coffee in my end. But on all seriousness, I would say I allow seasons, Rebecca. I no longer expect myself to operate at the same place year around. I rest without guilt. I say no more often without feeling guilty, but I've been learning to say no and be okay with that. And I remind myself that stepping back doesn't mean stepping away. It means sustaining the work long term.
I love that. That's so beautiful. Like, having rest without having guilt and setting those appropriate boundaries are huge, because I mean, a lot of us are people pleasers. Of course, like, we want people to like us. We want to, serve the world and do the things, but we would be distilled down, watered down versions of ourselves if we let everything in. And
Yes.
so, I always remind myself, like, when a ship sinks, is because a lot of water gets in, right?
Yeah.
So maintaining that guard, to our minds and our bodies and our spirits is a non-negotiable that I also have, because we just don't have time to do everything. Not
No.
everything is an emergency.
Yes.
It's definitely one of those lessons that I think we all kind of go through in life, but certainly when you have so much going on like you do, you can't say yes to everything. You've got to maintain those boundaries and fill your own cup, if you will.
Yeah.
So, my last question for you would be, if someone listens to nothing else in this podcast except for this one clip, what piece of advice or message would you like to give them as it pertains to either leadership, business entrepreneurship, mindset, or performance?
Oh, I like that. Okay. I like that, Rebecca. Very good. Okay. If there's one thing I hope people take away, it's this: success doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing what aligns with you, who you are. When you reflect your values, fulfillment flows naturally. Whether you're building a business, healing from loss, or finding your next chapter, trust that your path does not need to look like anyone else to be meaningful. That's my take on that. I've learned that last year, and I'm keep reminding myself that as well because it's not an easy task. Um, I used to be that person that would compare my work to other photographers, and but I realized that success is different for everyone. I mean, it's different. It has a different meaning to everyone, and every journey is different as well. So I've been learning that and I've been practicing, and yeah, I actually have that on my phone as a reminder when I go into the imposter syndrome, like the imposter, like, oh, and then I go back and I read that and it grounds me again. Like, okay, Jen, don't lose sight.
That's beautiful. I agree. Yeah, comparison's a thief of joy, and
Mhm.
everyone is so different. They're on their own respective journeys, and I have come to realize that as well, Jennifer, that what makes sense to me and what's in my heart and is in my soul doesn't have to match anyone else's. And it
Exactly.
shouldn't, because this is my journey and my experience here. And I believe that we are souls having a human journey. And so to compare myself to others would be silly, because there's truly no point. There's
No.
always going to be someone ahead. And that's a good
Mhm.
thing. So we have something to strive for so we can get
Correct.
better. And there's always going to be people behind you. That's the beauty and diversity of life. And so I
Yes.
think if, we learned that lesson a lot sooner, we'd be a lot happier and more
Yes.
at peace to know that we're getting the lessons and the blessings at the right divine time that we need them
Correct.
to evolve on our journeys, right? Like it's so
Yes.
cool.
Yes. And patience, nothing, good things doesn't happen so fast. You have to be patient, work at it, be disciplined, and consistency, and I would say a lot more consistency and discipline for me. And that's what has shaped the person who I am, my business, foundation, all that good stuff.
I love it. Well, on that beautiful note and piece of advice, Jennifer, for those that want to reach out to you and learn more about your business, your be it wedding photography or the Magic Hour Foundation or Zoe's lessons, can you give us some links or places that we can look you up and find you?
Yes, of course. So, for Cortiella Photography for the wedding business is going to be Cortiella Photography, and for the Magic Hour Foundation, the Instagram is the same. It's going to be the Magic Hour Foundation, and for the book is going to be at Zoe's Lessons. Website is cortiellaphotography.com. The Magic Hour Foundation is magichourfoundation.org.
Mhm.
And the book, it's under the Magic Hour Foundation website, and you're going to see a different tab there because the proceeds of the book go towards the foundation.
I love that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well,
Thank you.
Jennifer, it has been my honor and a distinct privilege to have you on our show. And I just really want to hold space now for you that I appreciate your heart and your vulnerability and really sharing with us all of the things that you are doing in the world and how you maintain your own sanity and your own soul care, self care. That has been so beautiful. And I know there are people listening or watching that are really taking note and realizing, oh gosh, I need to do more for myself, or maybe I need to go outside and hang out with my dog or whatever it is. So I just want to
Yeah.
hold space for you, Jennifer, and my heartfelt gratitude that you joined us today.
No, thank you, Rebecca. And thank you for holding space for this conversation. And for your listeners, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I really appreciate you guys.